Will Smith and Jada tried to pick her up on a threesome and you were going to beat up Will Smith. Is that true?
You really heard that? Nah.
Well, yeah, I watched it on the internet. You're telling me I can't believe everything I read?
What? I don't know what you're talking about.
What was he dealing with? What the f was he dealing with?
Something made him slap his brother.
No, something didn't make him snap anything. He laughed at that bad joke that Chris said like everybody else. And then Jada looked at him and it was like the Manchurian Candidate.
Nobody saw this one coming. Just when the internet thought the Diddy scandal couldn't get any messier, 50 Cent broke his silence and dragged Will Smith into the conversation, sending shockwaves across social media. What started as a few cryptic posts quickly spiraled into something much darker, with 50 hinting at long-buried industry secrets, uncomfortable Hollywood friendships, and moments that suddenly don't look so innocent anymore. Fans are now revisiting old interviews, red carpet clips, and behind-the-scenes footage with fresh eyes, asking one chilling question: how much did everyone really know? As Diddy's legal troubles continue to mount, 50's comments feel less like jokes and more like warnings, especially when Will Smith's name enters the mix. Is this just classic 50 Cent trolling? Or the beginning of a much bigger exposure that could shake Hollywood to its core? When 50 Cent finally broke his silence on the escalating Diddy controversy, nobody expected subtlety, but few expected the tone to turn this dark, this fast. Known for his relentless trolling and long memory, 50 didn't come out swinging with direct accusations. Instead, he did something far more unsettling. He asked questions, posted old clips, and let the internet connect the dots on its own. And when Will Smith's name suddenly entered the conversation, everything shifted for months. Diddy's legal troubles and explosive allegations surrounding his private life have dominated headlines. Lawsuits, leaked testimonies, and resurfaced interviews have painted a picture of an industry where power, silence, and protection often went hand in hand. Through it all, 50 Cent remained unusually quiet, watching, reposting, and occasionally hinting that more was coming. That silence made his eventual reaction feel calculated, not impulsive. Rather than directly naming wrongdoing, 50 focused on patterns, the kind Hollywood prefers to forget. He reposted old interviews, resurfaced award show moments, and highlighted long-standing relationships between powerful figures. One post in particular ignited chaos: a vague caption referencing the company you keep, alongside imagery tied to both Diddy and Will Smith. No explanation, no clarification, just enough to send social media into a frenzy. Almost immediately, fans began revisiting moments they once dismissed as harmless: old red carpet interactions, jokes made during late-night interviews, industry stories that were always treated as rumors but never fully debunked. The tone online shifted from gossip to suspicion. People weren't asking what happened, they were asking how much everyone knew. Will Smith's inclusion in the conversation shocked many. Unlike Diddy, Smith has long been framed as Hollywood's golden boy, a symbol of family-friendly success, discipline, and respectability, even after public controversies in recent years. His reputation has largely rested on the idea that his missteps were personal, not predatory or systemic. That's why 50's subtle association raised eyebrows, not because of evidence, but because of implication. And implication is 50 Cent's favorite weapon. Industry insiders and longtime hip-hop observers quickly pointed out that this isn't new behavior for him. For decades, 50 has positioned himself as both insider and outsider, someone who understands how the industry works but has little interest in protecting it. He rarely drops full exposes. Instead, he lets discomfort do the work, forcing audiences to re-examine narratives they once accepted without question. The timing of his comments also mattered. With Diddy facing mounting legal pressure, public opinion has become more willing to entertain the idea that powerful figures were shielded for years. In that environment, even vague suggestions feel explosive. 50 didn't need receipts. The moment was already primed. What made things darker was the shift in tone. Fans noticed that 50 wasn't joking the way he usually does. No punchlines, no emojis, just clipped captions and reposts that felt more like warnings than jokes. Some interpreted this as him signaling that he knows far more than he's saying, while others argued he was simply capitalizing on chaos. Either way, the effect was the same: unease. Meanwhile, Will Smith's camp remained silent. No response. No clarification. And in the modern media cycle, silence is rarely neutral. It allows speculation to breathe, theories to multiply, and old footage to be reinterpreted through a darker lens. Clips that once seemed playful now felt awkward. Friendly gestures were reframed as uncomfortable. Context was stripped away, replaced by suspicion. This is where the story becomes less about individuals and more about Hollywood culture itself. 50 Cent's commentary intentional or not tapped into a growing distrust of celebrity narratives. Audiences are increasingly skeptical of clean images carefully maintained by PR teams. They're asking who benefited from silence, who was protected, and who was ignored. Importantly, no verified allegations have been made against Will Smith in relation to Diddy's legal cases. That distinction matters. But the internet rarely waits for court documents. It reacts to vibes, patterns, and perceived proximity. And 50 understands that better than most. Critics accused him of reckless implication, arguing that vague posts can damage reputations without evidence. Supporters countered that 50 isn't accusing, he's highlighting how power networks operate, and how often the truth only surfaces once protection fades. To them, his silence breaking wasn't malicious. It was strategic. As part one of this saga unfolds, one thing is clear: this isn't just celebrity drama. It's a collision between hip-hop's long-standing distrust of industry elites and Hollywood's carefully polished image machine. 50 Cent didn't light the fire, but with a few calculated moves, he poured gasoline on it, and the scariest part, he still hasn't said everything. As soon as 50 Cent's posts went live, the internet erupted. Memes, threads, and viral TikTok videos dissected every clip, every caption, every old interview he referenced. Fans and casual observers alike began connecting dots in ways that seemed almost conspiratorial. But that's exactly the point. 50 Cent isn't in the business of spoon-feeding the narrative. He drops hints, and the audience does the rest, often drawing conclusions far darker than he explicitly states within hours. Hashtags referencing both Diddy and Will Smith began trending. On Twitter, users sifted through decades of footage, award shows, interviews, music videos, scrutinizing gestures, tone, and context. Moments once considered innocuous suddenly took on ominous undertones. Friendly embraces, collaborative projects, even shared public appearances were reframed through a lens of suspicion. Social media, hungry for scandal, amplified each interpretation. And the line between reality and speculation blurred quickly. TikTok became a particularly powerful arena. Creators began remixing old clips of Diddy and Will Smith alongside 50 Cent's cryptic posts, layering ominous soundtracks and captions that suggested hidden truths. Videos speculating about hidden industry dynamics went viral in hours, accumulating millions of views. What was striking wasn't just the volume of content, it was the tone. There was a shift from playful gossip to something far more investigative, almost conspiratorial. 50 Cent had, in effect, turned the court of public opinion into a detective agency. Meanwhile, mainstream media outlets scrambled to cover the story. Headlines ranged from sensational 50 Cent throws shade at Hollywood elite, to analytical what 50 Cent's comments reveal about power structures in Hollywood. Most outlets struggled to balance accuracy with virality. Every report had to make clear that no verified accusations had been made against Will Smith, while still acknowledging the massive public interest generated by 50 Cent's posts. The result was a tense, almost surreal media environment. Speculation framed as inquiry, analysis bordering on accusation. One particularly viral moment involved an old clip of Will Smith at a charity gala. Laughing alongside Diddy, when paired with 50 Cent's social media hints, the clip was dissected endlessly. Users debated the meaning of every glance, every gesture. Was there a hidden tension? A shared secret? Or was this simply the internet reading too much into a moment? 50 Cent's brilliance or audacity was that he knew audiences would fill in the blanks themselves, amid the chaos. Some industry insiders tried to calm speculation. Sources close to both Diddy and Will Smith emphasized that 50 Cent's posts were likely provocative, not evidential. Yet the damage, or at least the effect, was done. Public perception had shifted. Even fans who wanted to defend Smith or Diddy found themselves questioning, what did these celebrities know? And when did they know it? In the age of viral content, perception often outweighs reality. And 50 Cent had expertly leveraged that fact. The comments themselves were measured yet loaded. 50 Cent didn't make overt claims. He didn't accuse anyone of wrongdoing directly. Instead, he framed the discussion around patterns and proximity, suggesting that connections matter and that history has a way of revealing itself. That's a key distinction. He left ambiguity. But the implication was clear. Those who think the past is buried may be in for a shock. For Will Smith, his timing couldn't be more sensitive. His public image has been carefully curated for decades, even after the infamous 2022 Oscars incident. Smith has worked to rehabilitate his persona, balancing Hollywood respectability with social media accessibility. Being tangentially associated with a controversy of this magnitude threatens that carefully constructed image. Yet silence has been his chosen response, so far a strategy that may or may not serve him well. In the digital age, silence is rarely interpreted neutrally. It can imply guilt, prudence, or simply indecision. And audiences tend to choose the most dramatic interpretation. On the flip side, 50 Cent's calculated chaos has reinforced his persona. He thrives in this gray zone between entertainment and exposure. By remaining cryptic, he not only avoids legal liability, but also positions himself as a kind of cultural commentator, a figure unafraid to challenge the narratives that others prefer remain untouched. Fans and critics alike are drawn to this tension, watching closely for each post, each hint, each subtle jab. It's worth noting that this type of drama, provoked by cryptic celebrity commentary, feeds itself. Every post generates new content, every reaction sparks more analysis, and every old clip resurfaced gains new meaning. The social media algorithm, hungry for engagement, ensures that the story grows exponentially, far beyond what any single celebrity could control. 50 Cent knows this. He's not just trolling. He's orchestrating a cultural ripple effect, allowing the public to speculate while he watches from the sidelines. Ultimately, the fallout illustrates the power and danger of suggestion in the digital age. A single social media post can unsettle millions, reshape public narratives, and make even the most respected figures vulnerable to scrutiny. It's a reminder that in today's Hollywood ecosystem, reputation is fragile, and audiences are always watching for cracks. As the conversation continues to evolve, one thing is clear: this isn't over. The interplay between 50 Cent, Diddy, and Will Smith has opened a Pandora's box. The internet will continue to dig, theorize, and dissect every possible connection, whether factual or imagined. And as long as 50 Cent keeps posting, the tension and the darkness will only intensify. This isn't just celebrity drama, it's a case study in modern media, social perception, and the subtle art of influence demonstrated by a man who knows exactly how to make silence speak volumes. As the dust settles on 50 Cent's cryptic social media storm, one thing is unmistakable: the fallout is far from over. What began as a few provocative posts has evolved into a multi-layered public conversation about power, influence, and the fragility of reputation. Diddy faces legal battles that already dominate headlines. But 50 Cent's commentary has expanded the conversation beyond courtroom facts into the court of public opinion. And with Will Smith now tangentially involved, the stakes are higher than ever. In today's digital landscape, perception often outweighs truth. Fans dissect every clip, every gesture, and every historical connection, constructing narratives that may or may not reflect reality. 50 Cent understands this instinctively. He rarely issues direct accusations. Instead, he plants seeds of doubt, knowing that audiences will do the heavy lifting, and they have. Social media timelines are flooded with analyses, TikTok exposes, and long-form YouTube breakdowns, all attempting to decode what 50 Cent is implying. The sheer volume of engagement ensures that his influence extends far beyond the initial posts. For Will Smith, this situation underscores a delicate balancing act. His decades-long public image of discipline, charm, and relatability is now being tested by implication rather than evidence. Silence may be strategic, but in the fast-moving social media ecosystem, ambiguity is often read as complicity. Every unaddressed post becomes a new layer for speculation, and every clip revisited by fans takes on a different meaning. This isn't merely about reputation. It's about the modern mechanics of influence and accountability in the celebrity world. Diddy, already under intense legal scrutiny, now faces amplified public curiosity. 50 Cent's interventions remind the world that celebrity behavior isn't confined to what courts can adjudicate. Cultural memory, social media archives, and public interpretation are all part of a wider accountability system. Even without concrete allegations, perception matters, and 50 Cent knows it. His approach is methodical: provoke, hint, and watch audiences unravel the story themselves. What makes this saga particularly noteworthy is how it illuminates power networks in entertainment. Hollywood thrives on connections, favors, and behind-the-scenes influence. And 50 Cent's commentary shines a light on that structure without ever naming names explicitly. It's a subtle critique delivered in 280 characters and viral clips, yet its resonance is enormous. The message is clear: in an industry built on secrecy and perception, even the most polished reputations are vulnerable to scrutiny. From a fan perspective, this has become a cultural puzzle. Every reaction, every tweet, and every comment thread contributes to a collective narrative. People are no longer passive observers, they are investigators, interpreters, and amplifiers. 50 Cent's posts aren't just trolling. They're catalysts for a crowdsourced reevaluation of celebrity, trust, and influence. And in a world where viral moments can define legacies, this strategy is as potent as any formal expose. Ultimately, this episode is a reminder of the evolving nature of fame and accountability. Social media gives audiences unprecedented power to shape narratives. Silence is no longer neutral. Context is constantly reinterpreted, and past behavior is never truly buried. 50 Cent has mastered this terrain, turning ambiguity into influence and speculation into public discourse as the story continues to unfold. One certainty remains: Hollywood's golden boys and powerful moguls are no longer immune to scrutiny. 50 Cent has shown that influence can come not just from lawsuits or tabloids, but from calculated disruption in the digital age. And as fans, journalists, and insiders continue to parse every post, every look, and every historical clip, the ripple effects of his commentary are only beginning to be felt. In the end, this isn't just about Diddy, Will Smith, or even 50 Cent. It's about the modern machinery of fame and how. In a world where every moment can be analyzed, nothing stays hidden for long. The story isn't over, and, honestly, it may have only just begun. 50 Cent has reminded the world that in Hollywood, silence doesn't protect you. Connections matter, and perception can be more powerful than truth. Diddy's ongoing legal battles and Will Smith's carefully maintained public image are suddenly being scrutinized under a much darker lens, and the internet isn't letting up. Every clip, every post, and every hint becomes fodder for debate, speculation, and viral content. This is your front row seat to a cultural moment that blends celebrity, power, and social media influence in real time. Will Diddy navigate the storm and protect his legacy? Can Will Smith withstand the ripple effects of mere implication? And how far will 50 Cent push the envelope before he decides the public has had enough? Don't scroll past this one. Follow the unfolding drama, watch the posts, analyze the clips, and decide for yourself what the story really says about Hollywood's inner workings. This is more than gossip. It's a lesson in influence, perception, and how even the most untouchable figures can be unsettled when the right voice chooses to speak. Stay tuned, because in this saga, the next twist could be just a post away.